Come to Sam Ash for hundreds of exclusive holiday deals on music and sound gear from the most iconic brands. Save big on professional and starter guitars, drums, digital pianos, horns, violins, DJ, and electronic production equipment. Supercharge your home studio with deals on podcasting, streaming, and AV equipment like speakers, microphones, headphones, and acoustic treatment. Plus, with 36 months no-interest financing on thousands of items, you can get the gear of your dreams right now. From our incredible selection and service to our lowest price guarantee for over 95 years, real musicians know you only go to Sam Ash.
No one cares what you've done in the past. They don't care what you did last year or 5 years ago. You know, they hired me to do a job here, and I'm going to go in there and do it like you've always seen me do for a long time.
We're going to have our ass ready to go to New Orleans. They're allowed to pump in noise now this year. So you know what that's going to be like in New Orleans. Just like as they had their fans. He's a guy in the mirror doing what it takes. Loyalty. Faithful adherence to a cause. It's the cause. And the world championship. Honest to God, I looked out there today. I've been in this league 27 years. I've never seen so much talent on the field.
A pirate's life for me.
You're now in the Sports Web, a sports talk show for the hardcore fan. Bring your passion, bring your excitement, just don't bring any nonsense. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another edition of the Evolution of Sports Talk Television here, live from the Deck Bar and Grill from Isla del Sol here on game day, Bucs versus the Saints. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Best of the Bay, Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy. We got Joshua Cole Allen on with us here in a little bit. We got Philip Schwegler, one of the best chefs that I know. And, of course, we'll take your phone calls. The 320, powered by 320solar.com. We got also Frank Ammons in the lobby. He's ready to talk Bucs, and we're ready to talk Bucs with you. So, once again, this is the Sports Web. We are what? Less than an hour away, it seems like, from
Basically.
Bucs versus Saints.
And if you don't get chills watching that last intro there that Liam put together, and at the very end there with the ho ho ho, that little,
right.
I'm telling you what, the chills
Absolutely.
up and down my spine.
Absolutely. So, open phone line. We'll take as many phone calls as possible. We also got the Atomic Blonde on, giving you a women's perspective on football, because we kind of miss that sometimes. We've been talking a lot about relationships. We'll get her on here. We'll get her take on what foods to eat, what she's thinking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and other teams around the NFL. And then once again, let's go out to the second shot here. Let's go ahead and get these guys on. Mr. Joshua Cole Allen and Philip Schwegler, welcome to the Evolution. How you doing today, guys?
Doing great, man. Excited to be here. Excited for kickoff. Down here at the Isla Deck Bar and Grill down at Isla del Sol. Great food, great drink. If you guys aren't here, make sure you get here. We got a lot going on today. Philip?
You know, I'm excited, Peter, and I'm bringing the excitement today, all right? And I'm not bringing any nonsense, all right? This is going to be a good game. It's going to be a good matchup, all right? We're here with a bunch of great people here at the Deck Bar and Grill. Great drinks, great food. I can't wait to take in the ambience as soon as the game gets going here.
Well, those two are back there in the mood room.
I'm telling you, I mean, and we got double camera shots. We're going to work on a third camera shot, so we'll definitely going to work with you, try to get some fans on, keep this in a social distancing manner, because a lot of things have gone on. But as I've said here, we always start off the web. How do we start it off? Bring your passion, bring your excitement, Just don't bring any nonsense. Once again, I'm with Peter Blake, along with Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, Philip Schwegler, and Joshua Cole Allen of the Audible. So, guys, the big matchup, as you all know, is Brady versus Breeze, and a combined age of what? One is 41, is going to be 42 in January. That would be Drew Brees. And you have Tom Brady, 43 years old, the new starting quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And 27 total Pro Bowls between just those two players. Plus, we bring in Leonard. Well, Leonard Fournette doesn't have a Pro Bowl, but you bring in Shady McCoy. We bring in all these off. Gronkowski has, 6 or 5?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Evans up to 4. But, I mean, when you talk about the matchup between Drew Brees and Tom Brady, and like you said, 44 years of age total, or I'm sorry, not 44, 84, but 27 combined Pro Bowls. That's why it's the game of the week. That's why it's the 4 o'clock game of the week.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And all eyes in Tampa Bay here will be on Brady, of course, the big-time acquisition. You have Rob Gronkowski, this powerful offense. But Philip Schwegler, you're saying what now with this defense? This defense could be something? What are you thinking here?
I'm hoping it's something. I mean, especially looking at towards the end of last season, and we're looking at the intensity, the fire these guys have here during training camp. They just get me excited just watching them practice. I'll be completely honest with you. And now we got, first-year guy Anton Winfield Jr. back there making his first start. I think he's the first safety or first rookie to start for safety for the Buccaneers since Mark Barron. So it's got to be really exciting. You have Jamel Dean come back. You have Sean Murphy bunting. You got Carlin Davis out there on the outside there. I mean, these guys were really ball hawks here towards the end of the season, combining for, I think, over 30 pass defense in that last little stretch there.
Yeah, I mean, there was a huge improvement there. They had less than 5 touchdowns let up passing through the air those last 6 games. The thing is continuing that improvement. A lot of the players we've talked to and the players from their Zoom press conferences have said that they've done everything they can to keep that communication going and keep that intensity building off of last year towards this year. So that's exactly where I'm watching is that secondary. They've got a tough matchup today against those Saints wide receivers and Emmanuel Sanders and Michael Thomas.
Yeah, definitely. Communication is going to be a big thing today, especially back there in the back part of the defense there with the safeties and DBs or whatnot. You got to keep an eye on Michael Thomas, all right? I every single year, every single game is who has eyes on Mike Thomas, because it seems Mike Thomas goes off for over 100 yards every time he plays the Buccaneers. Yeah. Don't want to see that this year. This is a brand new Buccaneers teams 2020. We're doing something big here, hopefully.
And Tampa Bay Ray, here's a player that had 149 receptions. Really didn't matter what defenses did against him. He was still getting his catches. Drew Brees, of course, Hall of Fame career. And then they add Emmanuel Sanders to the other side.
And, we talked about this, but the fact that there are no fans here, right? There are no fans in New Orleans. There'll be no fans here in the month of September. And some people have talked about what having no fans there, what that does for the home field advantage. Will it sway the officiating? Because if we still remember that game last year, I still have a little red backside. Even though Hargreaves isn't here anymore and he's with Texas, that pass interference last year, that no call that Arians actually challenged, the officials came back and said, you remember he snapped Hargreaves' neck back running full speed down the sideline and got that big pass. But with the Saints, it's usually been pick your poison, Kamara or Thomas, and Thomas usually gets off. But now that we got the back end coming along with that great looking front end, I think we can shut them both down. It remains to be seen.
Absolutely remains to be seen. Again, open phone line, 727-255-0391. Get your final predictions in. Of course, the breaking news last night from Ian Rappaport of NFL Network. Mike Evans looks like he has been upgraded to questionable. They think he's going to play. I got to go out to you guys here, Philip Schwegler and Joshua Cole Allen. Are the Bucs basically playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers?
You got to think so. I mean, with so many weapons on this team this year, especially with Tom Brady at quarterback, I mean, you got to think they're trying to get inside maybe the Saints' head a little bit, or Mike Evans. And we all know how hamstring injuries are. They're very lingering. They can come back and bite you out of nowhere, like we saw last year with that deep touchdown pass. I think it was against I think LA. I can't remember exactly. Detroit. There we go. So I'm not sure if Mike Evans plays. I'm assuming he's going to be on some kind of snap count, maybe some diversion things. I don't think he's going to have a full workload today.
Yeah, I completely agree, especially with the hamstring. From one of my sources, it's some scar tissue that's coming up in the hamstring that's been bothering him all week. And exactly, he is active today, so he might be out there as more of a decoy, more of kind of diversion. there's a big inactive on the Saints side, but we'll get into that a little bit. That might be able to help this
Well,
this Buccaneers offense.
Don't tease it for me. Let's talk about the inactives. Of course, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you have Ryan Griffin, quarterback, Sorrell Grayson, wide receiver, Tyler Johnson, 5th-round pick. We expected a lot out of him, but he hasn't really been able to show much because of the injury situation, because he has a late start. You have Parnell Martley, cornerback, outside linebacker Cam Gill, guard Aaron Stiney, and DL Khalil Davis, 6th-round pick. And then Sorrell Grayson and Mazzy Wilkins. Mazzy has been they have been promoted from the practice squad. So what is the big inactive here, Joshua Cole Allen, with the Saints?
Well, just to expand on those the active list of the Buccaneers too, Mazzy Wilkins and Sorrell Grayson were both added from the practice squad. It's a new wrinkle this year. It's interesting to see that they were both added from the practice squad and then active on the game day roster. But the big inactives over there are Marquise Callaway, rookie wide receiver, PJ Williams. We knew Marcus Davenport was going to be out for a while, dealing with an elbow injury. Also, rookie center, 1st-round pick Cesar Ruiz was also going to be out. But PJ Williams started 8 games for this team last year at cornerback. He's the guy that's now out for this game. They do have Janoris Jenkins over there and Marcus Lattimore, but he was an integral part of this, shutting the teams down in the secondary. And without them there, that leaves a big hole for this Buccaneers team to exploit for the Saints.
Absolutely, Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy. I'll go back to you in a minute here. So, some inactives. Tyler Johnson, we talked a lot about him, but again, it goes back to Coach Arian's comments where he said, look, a rookie's going to miss 400 reps, so not necessarily he's going to be as effective early. Most likely he's going to be more effective in the middle or later part of the season, right?
Definitely. And you're talking about a team that has the depth at so many positions and so many places. And again, you still got to show up and lean in. They still got to show up today because, we've said this and we'll say it. I'll say this for the last time. The Buccaneers won the off season. They're undefeated since March. And that's through everything.
Yeah, that's through everything here. So I tell you what, let's go ahead and let me go ahead and do this really quick. Finally say goodbye to your electric bill and go solar for zero out of pocket with 320solar.com. Current promotion right now. Sign for zero out of pocket solar on 320solar.com and have no payments until 2022. The Sports Web and Bucs Report powered by 320solar.com. I love that.
Get your energy independence.
Absolutely. And of course, mycannabis.com. Like I said, 2,500. You fast track cannabis card, your largest cannabis card doctor network, home of the guaranteed fast track cannabis card approval with over 2,500 state licensed doctors and 30 plus qualifying conditions. It's My Cannabis Card is by far the easiest, most cost effective way to secure your cannabis card as stress free as possible from the comforts of your own home. It's mycannabiscard.com. Tell them the Sports Web Bucs Report and Peter Blake sent you. And then, of course, Sam Ash, 95 years of your musical needs. Boy, they really hooked us up. They hooked up your laptop. I'll go out to the guys here because if not for Sam Ash and the managers there and Chris and Ian, we wouldn't necessarily have that shot set up with that mixer and, of course, those 2 mics, those RE320 Electro voices. So for all your musical needs, it's Sam Ash.
Rock on.
Yes, absolutely.
Rock on.
All right, so I'll tell you what, we're going to go out to Frank Ammons here in a little bit, but let's hear from Jason Light. Let me put you guys in the lobby. There we go. We're here from Jason Light and what he had to say about Brady and what he brings to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, as we already don't know here because we've been talking about it, it seems like, in the longest offseason on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. Here we go.
Well, no, I kind of have to go back and remember. It's been a while since I was there in New England. One thing that strikes me is that he doesn't look like he's any older. He actually, his arm looks stronger than what we saw last year on tape. So it's, his work ethic is just unbelievable. And, we keep saying this word, but he sets such a high standard that guys, you find out if guys can keep up with it or if they're not quite ready. And I think everybody on this team wants to reach that standard. You've got some young guys that are learning on the fly here. So, but it's something, I think we said this when we signed him, that whenever he's done, let's just say 5 years from now, that standard will remain with this team.
So there you go. Welcome back to the evolution of Sports Talk Television. Got to bring the guys back in here, and then we'll go out to Mr. Frank Ammons of 320 Solar. And we got Blake. There, so just stand by. There we go. Blake Anthony at Sports Talk 49 and Blake Sports. Welcome to the evolution, my long-lost brother.
Hey, I'm glad to be here with you guys down here, enjoying the scenery and enjoying these tasty food down here in the wings. And you see the Patriot fans behind us. So, like Philip said earlier,
there. Yes, yes. Go ahead.
You got Patriot bombed.
Yes, you did, Philip. Let's go ahead and talk about these comments and the thing that kind of takes me back a little bit is Jason Light saying 5 years. We were all assumed, of course, Brady being signed for those 2 years. He says 5 years, and that standard is going to remain whether he's here or not. Very interesting comments. We already know about the arm strength. His arm strength has gotten better. We heard that from Peter King. Guys, what are your thoughts on these comments from Jason Light? Go ahead.
Yeah, so, 5 years, that's a long time, he's ready. This is what, his 21st season he's been playing in the league. 5 years is a long time. I gave Brady maybe 3 years. You got to see what he does, though. If the Buccaneers go to the Super Bowl this season, what's another 3 years after that? It's all about what he's going to do to this team and what he brings to the team and kind of build upon that for the next draft, the 2021 draft, the 2022 draft. And, just really building that culture of winning here in Tampa Bay, something we haven't seen in a pretty long time.
Blake.
It's a possibility. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but there's two aspects to that. One is, do you still have the ability to to make the throws and to do the things that you were able to do 5 years from now? And the second part is, and I think it's the most important one, is are you having fun playing this game still? And I would have to check the box, yes, because the way the ambiance of the team, I'll see your word, Swigler, the ambiance of the practice, the way the team has been lifted and everybody's having fun now and hadn't even played one game, it says a lot for Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski and everybody that's new that's come to this organization. Tom Brady is having fun and will want to stay here long term.
All right, I'll tell you what, let's go out. Let's make this a little bit more crowded. Let's go out to Frank Ammons of 320 Solar. Of course, the evolution of Sports Talk Television, powered by 320solar.com. Welcome to the evolution, Mr. Ammons. And you've got to be excited and pumped up. Of course, Jason Light talking about it, how the arm strength seemed like it was better than once he scouted, and then saying 5 years. But also, we talked about Brady and what he could bring to that locker room. You can't put a price on it, right?
No, you absolutely can't. I mean, you're talking about the Brady effect. I mean, I think it's no surprise that there was more opt-outs with Patriots than there was any other team. And I think that had a lot to do with the virus, but I think it also had a lot to do with maybe not so much confidence in that team because Mr. 12 is gone.
Yeah, and again, it's a big-time situation because the Patriots right now seem like they're struggling versus the Miami Dolphins, as they've always had difficulty, but they lose that last game to Ryan Fitzpatrick last year. There's a young coach down there from that Belichick tree. So we're kind of watching. They have the toughest schedule in the NFL with Cam Newton. But just talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, it's all about the quarterbacks, right, Frank? I mean, you have Drew Brees, who's 41 years old. Can he still throw the ball deep? I mean, do you think the Bucs should squat on some of these routes with the Michael Thomas because he's going to get a quick slant and force Drew Brees to beat you deep?
Yeah, I mean, I think you definitely got to do some of that. You got to take away one of their biggest targets, which is Thomas, and then just hope Alvin Kamara doesn't go ham on us today. So I think taking away one big target like Thomas, who usually has a pretty good game against us, I think is probably placing our bets in the right way.
All right, I tell you what, let's go out to Joshua Cole Allen. Not Joshua Cole. Philip Schwager and Blake Anthony. What are your thoughts on how you defend a Drew Brees? Do you force him to beat you deep? Blake, you're all about breaking down tape here. Do you feel like Drew Brees could be on a decline? Because we talked to our own Blake Ruffino of Are You Serious Sports, and he kind of talked about this where Drew Brees going back to last year could not throw the ball deep more than 20 yards.
Yeah, but I know Blake Ruffino has real good insight because he's got connections in that area. So I don't have that connection, so I got to look at the tape. What I'm really good at doing, and what I did, the one team that has the great formula for the New Orleans Saints is the Minnesota Vikings. Hence why they've beat them twice in the playoffs, pretty much with ease the past couple of times. And what you do, even with Emmanuel Sanders, is you take away the inside routes. They said you take away Jared Cook and with Drew Brees' lack of arm strength, other things deteriorate. And that's what a lot of people don't talk about. But what do I mean by that? What I mean is the ability to look off one receiver and go to the other and have the arm strength to get the ball to a receiver if you're looking at it late. He doesn't have that confidence anymore. As I showed on tape on Friday, he tends to stare down the receivers he wants to go to, and he'll either force the ball in or check it down to Kamara or whoever's down there. So even with the addition of Emmanuel Sanders' speed, Drew Brees lacks the confidence once he gets to about 40 yards of depth in the pat and deep throws. Unless he sees a one-on-one situations, I very much seldom doubt he's going to go there. And if he does, the ball's not going to be in front of the receiver; it's going to be behind.
Now, Frank,
I totally
go. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Phil. Go ahead, Phil.
I was just going to kind of caveat a little bit on what Blake was saying, and I think there's two ways to beat Drew Brees, especially looking at this Buccaneers team. Pressure up front, okay? Pressure the quarterback, pressure Drew Brees, keep him off his mark, and stop the running game. Take away those two things and play aggressive in the defensive backfield. I mean, the Buccaneers could have a decent day. Those are the two ways I think you can beat Drew Brees here.
Also attack that right side A gap, the defense's left side A gap, with the absent of Cesar Ruiz.
Yep.
Remember, just earlier in the offseason, who did they get rid of at that same spot? Warfel. Yep. They got rid of him for that same exact reason. Now you have an absence, and you have your first round pick out. That's the same spot Minnesota attacked. They took away that's also Brees' throwing side, his right hand side, so he cannot step into throws, as Philip Swager just said.
Philip Rivers.
Yeah, I know. I gave you up right there. It just said.
There's been a lot of movement this offseason. It could have happened.
Absolutely. Go out to Frank here from 320 Solar. Once again, the evolution of sports talk television, powered by 320solar.com. You're a big guy. I mean, you have to be salivating at the thought of, this line, the Saints line, missing some of their guys there with the two hosses there, as my uncle would say, Vita Vea, and, of course, Ndamukong Suh.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to help. I think throwing someone in new there definitely is going to give us a little bit of an edge there. So you guys got to remember Brady against NFC South teams is 17-4, I believe. And the Saints are historically, they start off slow in the season. I mean, just 2-3 years ago, we beat the Saints in New Orleans with I would say a less talented team. So I think we have a great opportunity here. And a lot of people have said, well, new teams don't have the continuity. Well, you can see the scoreboards today. There's a lot of new teams with new quarterbacks that are actually doing pretty good today.
Absolutely. And you mentioned a great point with new teams and, this Bucs team being characterized as a dream team. Jason Light had some great comments here. So let me put you guys back in the lobby really quick. We will hear from Jason Light here really quick. Stand by here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. Enjoy.
Well, it's been great. There have been some opportunities that may not have been there in the past. I think Tom has a lot to do with that, obviously, but I think we have a lot of good football players here on this team, and it's why Tom probably chose us. But it's, we're taking it one day at a time. We're not crowning ourselves champions yet by any means because, we still haven't seen our team go against anybody but our own selves. So that's what makes week one very interesting, especially in this day and age when we have no preseason games or scrimmages. But, we've had some made some moves. We had some which we thought would have been good in any year. So, we've got a lot of talent, but it takes more than talent to win.
There you go. And he's exactly right about that. It takes more talent to win. Welcome back to the Evolution of Sports Talk Television, live from the Deck Bar and Grill in Isla de So. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy. Let's bring the guys back on here. We got Mr. Philip Swagler, of course, one of the best chefs I know out there, and Mr. Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49, Blake and Blake Sports. We got Frank Ammons of 320solar.com, one of our newest sponsors. And let's make it more crowded. Mr. Rick Hughes, got to go out to him. debuting a new show tonight called From the Cheap Seats. Go ahead and tell everybody about it, my friend.
Yeah, it's right after the post-game show.
Which
could last forever. We're gonna go ahead and have a good time talking football, talk all about the Bucs game, rehab all the panic or overexcitement, whichever way it goes. Everybody's gonna flip out one way or the other, and we're gonna have fun doing it together. We're gonna sit here in the cheap seats and have a good time talking about it.
Well, let me ask you this, Rick. We'll go back to everybody here in a moment. Guys, we got a live mic here. Come on. Rick, his comments, Jason Light's comments about, the leadership quality of Brady, has better arm strength, could be around for 5 years. And also, they haven't done anything yet. This is kind of what you said throughout the offseason, all these big time expectations. But once again, they have to have more than talent to win, and they have to put it on the field.
Well, the Jaguars are beating the Colts right now. How do you think the Colts feel? Everybody's talking about how great the Colts are going to be. The Jags are beating the Colts. 5 minutes left in the game. So, I mean, it's great when you win the offseason. I said I believe this is the best offseason in NFL history. It means nothing when toe meets leather. So, I mean, until now you've got to make it. You've won on paper, but now you got to win on the turf. And let's go win on turf. And once we watch this Buccaneers team and see what they're really all about, that's awesome. Now understand it's week 1, no preseason. Crazy stuff's going to happen, like the Jaguars beating the Colts. So, I mean, this is what we've been waiting for, though. 6 months ago, we were excited about new uniforms. I mean, it feels like a decade ago, man. It feels like a decade ago. I mean, I barely remember that. So, I mean, now we've, with the addition of Brady and Gronkowski and Fournette and McCoy and all the rookies, I mean, this is going to be, it's just crazy. It's crazy fun. I'm looking forward to tonight talking about it on Live from the Cheap Seats, powered up by 320 Solar. I'm looking forward to doing it.
Absolutely. I want to go back to Mr. Frank Ammons of 320 Solar. Tell everybody out there what you're doing for all these great people with all these high electric bills. What's 320solardoing.com?
I mean, if you want to get rid of that electric bill and really own your power versus renting it, you can definitely use solar to do that. So, because at the end of the day, every electric company goes up each and every year. To avoid that, you can have your own power and have your own power plant right on top of your roof. And we allow you to do that. You can go solar with zero out of pocket. And if you sign up this month, we have a promotion that you don't have to pay a payment until January 2022. So go to 320solar.com and find out more. I'd love to help you guys out.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, we'll get you out of here with this. First and foremost, how confident are you with the report from Ian Rappaport that Mike Evans most likely will play in this game? They're optimistic.
Well, there was another report that came out, and he did a little bit of exercise, and he gave the thumbs up. So I think he's going to play. We'll see how much he plays, though.
All right, give me a prediction here, Mr. Frank Ammons. We'll get you out of here, get you ready for the game.
I think it's going to be a slower paced game. I think our defense is going to do a lot of good things, and I think we're going to probably slow it down a little bit and run the ball a little bit more than what people might expect. So I'm expecting a 24-17 game.
24-17. All right, Mr. Frank Ammons of 320solar.com. Thanks a lot for coming on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. All right, my friend?
See you guys.
All right, there you go. Good stuff. Again, the Sports Web powered by 320solar.com. I love that. Open phone lines. I mean, you guys are scared or something? I mean, I haven't read all the Webhead comments. Let's go ahead and read some of these Webhead comments, and we will comment on them as we should. CJ Robert Craig says, hi. Just wanted to say that. Okay, be first. Very cool. Tony says hello. Cornell says, let's go Bucs. Go Bucs, says Carlton. Douglas O'Connor is first. Definitely first in our hearts. Waiting on the game to start is like waiting to open a gift on Christmas. I mean, is that how we all feel at this point? Oh, yeah. I mean, we've been talking about it, and we are how many minutes away, Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy?
I don't know, but
with time.
I will tell you, though.
Neither are you. You
actually,
could get lost in a Walmart.
We are 35 minutes away, but it's felt more like Hanukkah because it wasn't just one morning of all these gifts. It was several days of gifts this all season.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm ready to open some gifts. I'm ready to get it on down there.
Absolutely.
But imagine if they put up the Christmas tree in like August and put the all of the gifts underneath the tree in August, and you couldn't open them until Christmas. That's what this has felt like.
Yeah, I mean, it really has, and Hopefully nobody gets any coal in their stocking. I'm just saying, besides. All right, let's go Bucs, says Robert. Jason says, oh, my God, it's happening. Bucs game day, baby. Bring your passion. I love that when people keep on repeating that phrase. And if you're just new to the evolution of sports talk television, you don't know what this is. Sit back, relax. Is it a TV show? Is it a radio show? It's both. It's the evolution of sports talk television live here on Bucs Report. I tell you what, let's go out to the professor, Mr. Johnny Dean. Welcome to the evolution of sports talk television. You're on with yours truly, Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, Philip Schwagler, Blake Anthony, and, of course, Mr. Rick Hughes from the cheap seats. And we got Joshua Cole Allen in the background.
How are you liking these games today, man?
From what we've gotten an opportunity to see, it definitely looks like Carolina and Las Vegas are going back and forth, which is really weird to see with the Raiders. You have Jacksonville surprising. I'm not sure about the update on the scores of the games, but there's a lot of things going on right now. Washington and Philly with 7. Go ahead.
I've been updating in the chat as much as I could.
Well, give me some updates. What are your thoughts on these games right now?
Well, I was going to make a bold prediction, but it's not looking so bold now.
No?
With Atlanta getting blown out in Seattle.
Well, to me, that's not a surprise, guys. I mean, we talked about the Atlanta Falcons to me, and Rick Hughes even said it. They could be 14-2. They could be 2-14. The problem has always remained to be the same. Even after that Super Bowl loss of 28-3, that defense has been absolutely dreadful.
Well, their defensive line has looked good, but their defensive backs, everything everybody's been saying about over the past years about the Buccaneers, that's what it's looking like in Atlanta. Their defensive line actually looks pretty good, but they've got nobody covering anybody.
Is Mike Smith back there calling the defense again?
No, Raheem Morris is.
Raheem Morris is. So what else? What are your other thoughts here? You're going to give me some prediction on numbers of what the Bucs are going to do?
A bold prediction.
Okay.
I was going to give you a bold prediction. I was going to say the Bucs finish today #1 in the division.
Okay. Okay, #1 in the division. I like it.
That sounds kind of weak now. I thought Atlanta was going to do something. I thought Panthers. I don't know what the Panthers are doing.
Well, the Panthers are doing pretty well. Robbie Anderson, what I just saw, 75-yard touchdown. That's the reason why you get speed. We can't teach speed. We need that greasy speed, and that's what they get against the Raiders defense, toasting and roasting them. Still, the Raiders trying to find a defense, which has been their big-time question. Seattle, thanks a lot, Atlanta, again, for participating, 31-18. Patriots winning 21-11. Anything else, Johnny Dean?
That's it, bud.
All right, boss. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you. There you go. Open phone line to the webheads out there. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. It's the Evolution Sports Talk Television live from the Deck Bar and Grill in Isla del Sol. Beautiful time here. Maybe not the best day here, but as I've talked about, it really doesn't matter about the pandemic because we were here. It doesn't matter about COVID-19 because we were here. In a tropical storm in Sally, you think is going to stop this? Nothing stops the evolution of sports talk television live here on Bucs Report. 727-255-03.
Everybody freeze.
I want to get this tech issue worked out. That's what happens here. You in the lobby right there. You in the lobby right there. Let's go out to Jason Light and his comments about the expectations of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A lot of fans out there kind of excited, some scared. So we will definitely hear from Jason Light here on the Sports Web. Enjoy.
I'm very excited about that group. I think Shady has been such a good bell cow there in that room and leader and has embraced that role. Keyshawn really came on at the end of camp, and really he's in a normal year, the amount of reps that he's gotten, he would just kind of be getting done with OTAs at this point. So then he missed a little bit of time here at training camp at the beginning too. So he's really coming into his own. But since we signed Leonard, who we're very excited about, Rojo has taken another step forward. And so he's welcomed the fact that we signed Leonard, who is an extremely talented guy. So it'll be fun to see how all this shakes out, but I'm very excited about that group.
There you go. Welcome back to the evolution of Sports Talk Television. I'll tell you what, let's go ahead. You can stick around. We're going to keep everybody else in the lobby. We got a special guest here, a women's perspective on football. I love to hear this because we always need to get pointers as men out there on how we deal with our significant others. If you have one, if you don't, then maybe take some notes down. This lady right here is going to help out with that. Her name is the Atomic Blonde, Miss Sarah Ingalls. Welcome to the evolution of Sports Talk Television. And let me ask you this, because we've always asked every person on the sports web, did you ever think in a million years that Tom Brady was going to be the starting quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
I have to say no. Never.
Never.
Never, ever. Never. No. But good for you guys, because apparently the team wasn't doing so hot, huh?
Well, look, they haven't had a playoff appearance since 2007. There's a lot of hungry fans for playoffs. There's a lot of hungry fans out there for Super Bowl, and they feel like with getting a Brady and having 6 Super Bowls and 9 playoff appearances, that it gives you that opportunity. I feel like, what fan are you, and are you more inclined to become a – I cannot see it. It's black.
Oh, it's black on black. So Broncos, baby. Colorado native. Broncos, yeah.
Now, let me ask you this, Atomic Blonde. Would you be more inclined to be a Bucs fan knowing that Tom Brady is now the starting quarterback?
Oh, I think I am one of those fans that sticks with the team, whether it is good or fair weather, right? So, you might convince me, but, with the Broncos, when we lost Elway how long ago, if we wouldn't have gotten Peyton, I don't think we would have done as well as what we did. So we got lucky with a quarterback that really carried us after Elway.
Yeah, and of course, you're going to play your game on, I believe it's Monday night, Broncos versus Titans. So it's going to be a tough matchup there. So how long have you been a Broncos fan for?
Well, native, right? So born and raised. So I think that just goes with the territory out here. But I went to college in Chicago, so I have to admit I'm a little bit of a Bears fan. In Minnesota, even though I was born here. So a little bit of a Viking girl at the same time, and always a Saints girl. And I have no idea why on that one. So.
All right. And we're on with the Atomic Blonde, Miss Sarah Ingalls, on the evolution of Sports Talk Television, a women's perspective. Got to ask you, we always talk about relationships in sports, coaches and players, coaches and GMs and owners. Hopefully it's good because they're fired. How can a football relationship, because it's difficult sometimes with a man liking football and a woman not necessarily being in it. And what I've always said is that if the man would take the opportunity to teach the woman and teach his significant.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there.
Okay.
If the man takes the opportunity to teach the woman, wow, that is a little bit backwards there. I would say that I actually have a lot of female friends that know more about a lot of my male friends when it comes to football, especially when it's drafting fantasy teams, stats, information. I think that's back in the old school days of it was more men than women that liked sports.
Well, I stand to be corrected. I don't want to look like a male chauvinist here. I'm just saying.
But I am teaching you what is happening in the background to make sure that relationships stay solid through the games. So,
well, that's a way. That's definitely a way. So, what are you eating today? Because everybody's talking about what they're eating during a football game. What's your preference? Everybody knows my preference is always about the wings. Is that what it's like for you? Is that what it's for you? Wings?
I do love food. I am a foodie. I'm not going to lie. But right now, a little bit more about that. Can you hear that? You're in a bar in the background, so thought I would mix it up for you. So I thought I'd do all about cocktails today, about if you were trying to watch your weight. So I am trying to reach, I'll be 50 in October, so I'm reaching a goal. So my personal trainer will love this because this is diet cranberry juice, a little bit of coin, a little bit of tequila. And tequila, for those of you watching your weight during some of these events, is a much better, it's better for your system. So most people don't know this, but I actually own a software and a healthcare company. That's my day job. And so tequila is the way to go because it's a different kind of sugar. So there's your tip for drink today. But food, Definitely all about appetizers, but there's got to be a lot of meat. I don't like the veggie tray stuff. I'm going to be honest.
Well, I'm not a veggie fan either, and I get teased about this all the time. In fact, I lost a bet with my compadre right here, Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy. I will not eat veggies in an omelet. Are you a veggie person that eats veggies in your omelet? Because I don't like to get up 6 to 8 hours and eat veggies. I like to just have the bacon, even though it's not that healthy.
I am a bacon girl. That's what I'm saying. I mean, there has to be meat at these buffets, right? They can't just do like carrot sticks and celery. No, nobody wants that. Let's be honest. Nobody does.
No.
So you've got to have wings. You've got to have something barbecue if you want me to show up. You got to have chocolate. There's got to be something sweet. And again, drinks are where it's at. So I think especially, I know in old days, but you want a woman's perspective here. Quit doing the beer. It's beer all the time. You know, you go to these. I think we need to get into some craft cocktails, some better appetizers. You know, COVID, we can't go out as much as we used to. So I think we need to take the quality of our game up a little bit. So I even did it in my dress today. My attire, added a little fur with the matte black Broncos stuff going on today. So no reason you can't have style and like football at the same time.
Absolutely. And again, I didn't mean to offend anybody. I just feel like maybe I'm in the
sweetie, I'm just giving you a hard time. This is the way our relationship is going to be. Every time you step in it, I'm going to call it out. So,
hey, look, Atomic Blonde, I like it. I like a feisty woman. I love that. That's a good thing to have. We definitely got a personality here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. That's Sarah Ingalls, the Atomic Blonde. Go ahead and tell everybody about this great podcast that you have and what you're doing with it.
Oh, well, we've got a couple. So one is People Talks, and it's for our healthcare company here in Colorado. We're Birth to Death nationwide. And we just do hot topics and things that really kind of impact everybody every day, because that's kind of where we're at. And then for the Atomic Blonde, I've got some longer ones where we do interviews, just like we're sitting at a table having a drink and you're with us. And then I've got the Blonde Bomb, which is when I get a little sassy by myself. And then I record that. It's like, I don't know, anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes of just these rants I have in the car by myself about life in general. So those are out there. And Atomic Blonde is all about charity. It's all about giving back. In fact, we have a big ALS golf tournament, charity golf tournament on the 28th coming up.
Very nice.
That we're throwing together in less than 33 days. Can you believe that? But we're going to do it. We're going to pull it off. So.
Yeah, tell us more about that ALS. Tell us about the golf tournament a little bit.
Yeah, so we're doing a charity golf tournament. So as you know, with COVID and all of this stuff, at least here in Colorado, all our walks got canceled. All the in-person fundraisers are really tough to have. And ALS is a terminal disease, and it's very expensive. And so all the money that we're raising goes straight to patient care, so that patients and it's Utah, Colorado, and Wyoming, so that those families can have respite care. Maybe they need equipment, maybe they need different medical care, but it goes direct to the patient. It's all about really their quality of life. So for us, the whole theme is living your best life. And how do you do that in a way that also gives back? So we've already filled, we can still take sponsors, and we still have room for golf. So if you want to fly up, come on up to Colorado. We have better weather than you, and you guys can golf. And then later, we're going to be starting donations on the 28th for a ice bucket challenge that myself and my team are going to do. And so the lowest level that we raise, that's going to be ice buckets. The second level is going to be a dunk tank. And then the third level is going to be me and a few of my crew taking a fire hose.
Wow.
So we'll see how that goes. I hope the firemen are gentle and it's not the full-on spray that kicks us into the next parking lot. But anything for a good cause, right?
Absolutely. All right, give us some predictions here. How do your Broncos do this year? Drew Lock being a second-year quarterback, somewhat of a rookie. How do you think this team overall? You lose Von Miller for an extended period of time.
My last year fantasy football team took it in the shorts with injuries after injury after injury. And this year, my actual team doesn't look a whole lot better, sadly. Sorry, Broncos fans, but, I always say the truth. And I don't think we're going to fare well. I'm still going to support them and still going to cheer them on. But I think with the second-year quarterback, at least in my experience, I think experience says a lot, right? They learn how to play with the team. They learn what calls to make. They get some experience on the field. And that really, I think, is what kind of sets an average quarterback to a great quarterback, is that really just life experience. And so a second year, that's really tough. He's got a lot of pressure. We know half the game's mental, just like life. And that's a really hard place to be. And Von Miller being not only our best player, but really forcing plays, on I don't know, without having the defense that's as strong and then having a questionable offense, I just think it's going to be a dicey year for us. If we make it, we're going to have a lot of luck. And that's okay. I'd rather be lucky than good sometimes, right?
Absolutely. Better to be lucky than to be good. We got Sarah Ingalls, the Atomic Blonde podcast here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. Let's talk about Tom Brady. Do you feel like he's seen his best days? Is he washed up? Or do you feel like he can lead the Bucs to the promised land? A lot of people saying Super Bowl. I say Super Bowl or bust. What do you say?
I say you guys are going to go. I mean, it's just like when we had Peyton. And honestly, I think Tom Brady is an excellent quarterback. He's got some years under his belt. He's got some experience. And I think one of the things we saw with Peyton that we had missed since Elway, and what you guys are going to get with Brady, is they know leadership, right? I mean, I have 1,000 employees, and let me tell you, leadership isn't easy. They wouldn't make so many books about it, and it wouldn't be something that's difficult if it was just super fantastic and you walked out on the field and everyone got behind you and did what you were supposed to do. And I think with that leadership, I think it's going to offset maybe some of the psychological kind of disadvantages that the Bucs have had for so many years of not really doing so hot, right? So I actually tried to find a Bucs hat for today, believe it or not. I went to 4 stores in Colorado and not one had a Bucs hat, you guys.
Wow.
Not one.
I think
they blame it to COVID, but I don't think it's COVID. I got to tell you, I think it's your playing history, and it didn't make it out here. So
sold out.
Well, they may have been sold out because you got Brady and Gronk, and they're so popular right now.
Yeah, they didn't say that. Just FYI. So you're gonna have to send me one, and I will root for both this year. But I do think that we can go to the Super Bowl with the Bucs. I really do. I think Tom can take us there.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens. Miss Atomic Blonde, go ahead and promote yourself here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television.
Well, you can follow me on Instagram, and that is the Atomic Blonde with an ECO for Colorado. And my website is theatomicblonde.net. And again, everything that you find on there has to do with empowering both men and women. It's about being yourself. It's about being kind. It's all about charity, and everything on there that is for sale goes to a different charity cause, whether it's cancer or post-traumatic stress disorder for vets. And it's got some fun fashion trends. So I just really appreciate you guys having me on here, and I'm excited to share some of that female perspective on how for you single guys not to stay single during the season. It's a great COVID dating time.
You know what? I absolutely agree with you, and I definitely think you can help me out because I'm single. I know this guy right here is married. I don't know about the other guys. I'm not going to speak for them, but definitely thanks a lot for your tips and tricks on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. All right, Atomic Blonde?
Sounds good. It was great to be here.
All right, appreciate you. That's the Atomic Blonde right there, Miss Sarah Ingalls, on with the Evolution of Sports Talk Television, live from the Deck Bar and Grill. Let's go ahead and bring the guys all back on here.
Just quick update.
Yes.
It's 4:00, so we've got 25 minutes till toe meets leather, as Rick Hughes from the Cheap Seats would say.
Yes, so we'll bring these guys back here.
Oh, there's Rick right now.
Not
Sorry,
as
Rick.
attractive, obviously. We've got each
Hey,
I used to be blonde.
Will you shut up? No, you haven't.
I call you pretty
used to be
constantly,
blonde.
Peter. I call you pretty. You're a beautiful man, and you go and say something like that to me.
I love you guys. I'm just saying. I think I'd rather have. I think I met my match. I think she's.
Oh no! And you know what? Though that's why I was offended. We were talking about someone being offended. I was offended because I thought I brought the female perspective, but I think the comment.
Lord of mercy.
Why did you say that?
I do have an update. A real live update.
Save that update. I'll tell you what. Let's go out to Matt Colson here. Matt Colson from Oklahoma City. Welcome to the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. You're on with yours truly, Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy. Of course, we got Joshua Cole Allen, Blake Anthony, and Rick Hughes from the Cheap Seats. What's on your mind?
Well, first of all, you got hammered, dude.
Oh, that's okay. No. He was joking around with me, but I'm saying, relationship types, there's a lot of women out there who don't like sports, and I feel like the mistake they make, this is what I was trying to say, is that they don't take the time that's necessary to teach somebody, their significant other, about football. So that's why, get away from me. I don't know who he is. They don't take the time to teach the other person about it. So, of course, they're going to get nagged at. Of course, they're going to get told that they don't want. So if you get your significant other involved in sports, I think you're better off. That's what I was trying to say. Go ahead there, Matt Coulson.
You didn't quite get that.
I did not.
You got
But
shut down.
I like when she's feisty, though. I like a feisty woman.
Hey, Matt, can I throw this in?
Sure.
The winner of the Buccaneers Saints game will be leading the division. Both the Panthers and the Falcons lost.
Wow.
So the Panthers and the Falcons have lost. It looks like there is a upset brewing right now, ladies and gentlemen. There's 3:15 left in the fourth quarter. The Washington football team, 27-17 over the Philadelphia Eagles. What is going on?
It's week one. It's week
I
one,
know,
man.
It's week
Ravens
one.
smashed the Browns.
No preseason,
And,
week one.
Not a surprise.
And Washington
I'm
football.
on my way to wings with Peter. Patriots
They were
win
playing-
21-11.
They're playing inspired football for Ron Rivera, and I'm telling you, I mentioned that this morning on Cup of Ray that I
Right.
expected that. And you got an Eagles team that comes out.
Yep.
Wentz is still getting knocked down in the pocket like he's getting knocked down like some kind of a whack-a-mole. And the Washington football team's playing inspired football. That NFC East, if the Cowboys don't come in strong like everyone says they should, it's going to be another disaster. Like it was.
Peyton Barber had a decent day.
Well, there you go. Peyton Barber, good for him. We're happy that he had a
Yep.
good day. And Dwayne Haskins starting his second year going into, didn't start a lot last year, but Ron Rivera said it himself. He's seen enough that he can lead this team. And you got to be happy for the Washington football team because they have absolutely had a completely horrendous offseason. So with all that being said, and Tom Brady right there, guys, that's
Look
just
at that. That's the first-
just so odd to see, but you see it right now. How many minutes away are we?
Or just under 21 minutes.
21 minutes. We'll get you your predictions. We'll take
19.
phone calls. Matt, what else, buddy?
I just wanted to let you know we're watching here in Oklahoma on prime time.
Well, speak up a little bit. I can't hear you. Go ahead.
It's nice to have the team, the Bucs on 4 o'clock.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good
It
call,
is.
Matt. Good call.
It is. Absolutely, Matt. Go ahead. Give me a prediction really quick here.
I'm going to say 27-13.
27-13
It's a little
Tampa
out
Bay.
there.
I like it. I like it
it.
a lot. All right, Matt Coulson, thanks a lot for coming on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. All right?
All right, Peter.
All
Take some notes.
So much for tanking for Trevor.
I'm taking notes. In Jacksonville, they go on to win today. So there
Yep.
you go.
So
I'm
much
always
for
taking
tanking
notes
for
here.
Trevor.
Let's go out to the dude. Dude, welcome to the
Oh.
Evolution of Sports Talk Television. You're on with yours
Ooh,
truly,
live and in color.
Ray Kennedy, Rick Hughes from the Cheap Seats, Joshua Cole Allen, and Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49. Go ahead.
Gentlemen, we're minutes away from the NFL game of the week. Not the Tampa Bay game of the week. We've got the Rays playing right now. We've got the Lightning dropping the puck. We've got the Buccaneers being led onto the field by Tom Brady. And you know what else we got? We have literally the best cast of characters, the most talent I've seen on one screen at one time right here on Bucs Report. How about that? Think
It's a
about
beautiful
this.
thing. Yeah,
It's a beautiful thing. Now,
it is.
Peter, the young lady that was on previously,
Yes.
I wanted to point out that, well, first of all, great job by her, great job by everybody. Peter,
Yes.
you can drag your feet. Oh, I got to get the perfect camera shot. You can make all the excuses you want. You're going to eat a vegetable omelet on air today.
Well, I think somebody had a vegetable omelet over there, but Big Mouth over here.
I ate a lot of it.
See,
I'm
this
so
is-
sorry.
This is my buddy right
I
here.
got
This
your
is why
back.
He's my co-host.
Got your back.
I love you, brother. So how about that?
Then I'm going to need Ray to kind of like feed it to you like a mommy bird does the baby bird.
You know what? What are you going to have next? Joshua Cole Allen, wipe my mouth. Blake Anthony, pat me on the back of my back here so you can burp.
Right, the back of your back.
Yes.
Hey, Hey, shout out to Blake Anthony, man, showing up after a hard night working. Joshua, Allen, bro, great job. Ray, you're smiling a lot over there, Ray. Ray,
I haven't even had a beer.
Ray.
Yes, sir.
The drink specials. The drink specials are for the customers, Ray.
Oh yeah.
What do we got going on here today for this specials? Really
Let
quick?
me get this for you real quick. So we got $3 Bloody Mary.
Wow.
The biscuit. The special today is a rib basket for $8.99.
Rib basket.
Right, rib basket. We got Bud Light and Bud Light buckets. Five beers per bucket on ice for only $14. But more importantly, I wanted to mention all season for all of our games out here, all throughout the Deck Bar and Grill here at Isla del Sol. They have these QR codes on the wall. You come in, you scan your phone, you put in your email address, and every game all season, they're going to give out one key per game, one key. And the end of the season, one of those keys is going to start a new Chevy Silverado, and that's going to be for the winner that has that winning key. They'll do a starter key at the end of the season. So when you make it out here for one of our game day shows, scan the code, be entered into the game ticket, get that key, and you might win that car.
All right, there you go. Good stuff here. So, dude, what else, buddy?
Just wanted to say great job, guys. Make sure each and every one of you, well, except for you, Rick, get some food from the Deck Bar and Grill. Blake, hey, Blake, we need to see that smile there, buddy.
Yeah, what's going on, Blake? What are we in solitary confinement?
No, Blake, I'm not trying to buy a used car. There you go. I'm gonna drop the craziest prediction. I put it in the chat.
Okay.
Go ahead and roast me. I'll say it and get off here and listen to your response. 45-41 Buccaneers.
Wow. I like it. Dude. The dude abides there. Open phone line. We got a little bit of time here. How many more minutes, Tampa Bay Ray?
We got just about, 15? Let's call it 12.
12 minutes. All right, 12 minutes to go.
Seahawks just wrapped up the Falcons game, 38-25.
Okay.
Score update.
All right.
I got a
yes.
I got a couple predictions, some bold statements I'd like to make out here. You guys can disagree, agree if you want. I don't know if we got time for that. Peter, let me know.
I tell you what, we'll hold off on that for right now. Let me put you in the lobby. Let's talk about the running back room, what Jason Light thought about this running back room on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. So let me go ahead, put you back in the lobby there, put you in the lobby there. We'll come back with his comments and talk about this running back room. Has it improved or not on the evolution Sports Talk Television? We'll be back.
I'm very excited about that group. I think Shady has been such a good bell cow there in that room and leader, and has embraced that role. Keyshawn really came on at the end of camp, and really he's in a normal year, the amount of reps that he's gotten, he would just kind of be getting done with OTAs at this point. So then he missed a little bit of time here at training camp at the beginning too. So he's really coming into his own. But since we signed Leonard, who we're very excited about, Rojo has taken another step forward. And so he's welcomed the fact that we signed Leonard, who is an extremely talented guy. So it'll be fun to see how all this shakes out, but I'm very excited about that group.
All right, welcome back to the evolution of Sports Talk Television. Definitely seems like he's very excited about that group here, guys. Of course, the big-time story, and I'll keep on saying it, a victim of volume, Mr. Ronald Jones, 724 rushing yards last year, 6 touchdowns. Could have had more. They draft a Keyshawn Vaughn, guys, and then you also get Leonard Fournette and a LaShawn McCoy in free agency. Got to go out to Joshua Cole, Allen, and Blake Anthony. What do you think of this running back room now?
I think this running back is amazing. It's one of my bold predictions. I think that Rojo will still lead this team in rushing yards. I think the guy has shown in the offseason that he's been working hard to improve it. We know the talent that Shady and Leonard Fournette brings and the unknown factor in Keyshawn Vaughn. But I think Rojo's a guy they want to go with, and I think he's going to be toting the rock. He'll be the one out there starting today. And I just can't wait to see how all these running backs are used week to week, game plan matchup to game plan matchup. Blake?
Now Blake, Fournette here, much has been made about him getting in a late start. How much can you see, how many carries can you see the Bucs taking advantage of him today?
How many carries? I say about 10 to 11 carries.
Okay. Does he eventually become the number one running back of this team? Is that what you expect?
I expect all the backs to be used in different situations depending on who you're facing on defense.
Yeah.
As I said several times, this offense isn't built for a bell cow back. It's who fits better against the matchups you're playing against.
All right, let's go out to Hughes here. We talked about Leonard Fournette ad nauseum. I think it's a good thing to have. I think their running back room is a lot stronger than it was last year. Remember, Rick, they were 26th in rushing, so it has to improve. And to me, it's a big key today because you don't want to be one-dimensional. You don't want a Cameron Jordan, who, by the way, has a matchup with Tristan Wirfs, which we'll talk about in a moment. You don't want him to take advantage of that. They lose Davenport, so you want to take the pressure off of a Tom Brady.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of short passes, a lot of dinking and dunking today. I think this is going to be a lower scoring game than maybe a lot of people are thinking. I'm going to guess Rojo gets 14, 15 carries, 11 for Fournette, 3 for Shady. I mean, that you might even – and there may be a Keyshawn Vaughn sighting or two. I don't know. But I think it's going to be – I think you're primarily going to see Rojo running the ball. We're going to see what happens. It's a solid running. This is the fun part of all of this. Who's thinking knows what's about to happen? We're minutes away from who knows how this is going to play itself out. And that's the beautiful part of all of it. And imagine if you're the New Orleans Saints and they're looking at this offense going, what are they about to do?
Yeah.
I mean,
let's go out to Tampa Bay. Ray Kennedy here. Ask you, of course, the big-time matchup for the Bucs being number one rushing defense is Alvin Kamara. You have to definitely account for him because if you get him out in space, he can definitely make some plays happen.
Yeah, but I need number one against the rush that last year, the Buccaneers, and we think that back end, again, we always say it, a great front end makes up for a weak back end, but you got to stop Kamara, and you're going to have to pick your poison. I think that both defensive lines from both teams are going to play a big part of this game because the way to try to beat Brady and Breeze is to put pressure on them, and I love what Blake said earlier about attacking that A gap on the left side because that is Breeze throwing side, and he does not play well when he rolls out to his left. Don't let him roll to his right.
Yeah, don't let him roll to his right, and you got to get that penetration by Avea and the Sioux. They did that last year. You free up those linebackers, and you can blitz, and you have Shaq Barrett with 19.5 sacks, JPP for a full year, who had 8.5 sacks in 10 games, and, of course, Devin White and Levante David. So, like I said, congratulations, my friend. There you go. It's my friend James. He's a big-time Raider fan. He's happy today to beat the Carolina Panthers. That linebacking core is definitely going to be active, especially going back to Devin White and Levante David, guys.
Oh, yeah. And that's how they're going to stop Kamara is they're going to get that pressure on Breeze. But Devin White healthy from the very get-go this year and JPP healthy from the very get-go this year. Somebody give me a beer. I'm going to go crazy.
All right,
linebackers, middle linebackers who can play sideline to sideline. It's good.
One of them are going to get a pick today.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to get a pick today? Okay.
Oh, I like that.
Well, you got to cause a couple of turnovers here because overall the Saints only turn over the ball 8 times last year. Drew Brees, only 4 interceptions. We're talking about 30 interceptions with the previous quarterback, so they definitely take care of the ball. That's how you have to win in the NFL. You have to run the ball, have balance, and also take care of the ball, and, of course, play defense. Let me put you guys back in the lobby. We'll hear from Tristan Wirfs and a matchup that I think everybody's looking forward to and who's going to help him out. Very interesting comments. Stand by. There we go. We'll go out to Tristan Wirfs when asked about Rob Gronkowski and his importance to him here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. Here we go.
Gronk, he's so fun to just, get to play next to. But, I think me and him have a lot of back and forth because we got to communicate quite a bit, on the line. So I think a big part of it was just getting comfortable playing next to each other and kind of getting that back and forth just, after repetitions of it, getting comfortable with each other and being able to do things quickly.
And with him, it's interesting because he's so playful with us, and he seems like he's having a really good time when he's out there on the field. Like he's laughing, he's smiling and everything. What's it like playing with him from a personality standpoint? Because a lot of times, even Coach Bowles said it yesterday, he wants guys to be pissed off when they're playing, excuse my French, but he seems to always be genuinely enjoying himself, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't – see, you said guys always got to be pissed off, and I'm like, pardon my French as well, but I never understood that. That's always been a big thing that I don't I'm not mean or anything when I play. It's just, you can do your job. You can do your job. I think that's what it comes down to. And, I want to do it great. And I know he wants to do it great, but, his personality, he's super fun to be around. He gets his job done. So, it's awesome just having him out there. I think he kind of lifts everybody's spirits up a little bit. His laugh, especially, is pretty contagious.
All right, welcome back to the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. I'm your host, Peter Blake, live from the deck, Isla del Sol, along with, that's not Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, that is Mr. Philip Swigler, one of the best chefs I know, of course, editor-in-chief here of Bucs Report. Let's go out to the guys here because this is a matchup that I feel like everybody has to take a look at. It's the rookie Tristan Wirfs out of Iowa, who the Bucs trade up for one spot.
Oh, yeah.
We'll say his demeanor, but you look at the tape, the guy plays rough and tough. He's going to have his hands full today, which is why I believe with that whole talk about Rob Gronkowski here, Phil, he's going to definitely be a big part of their game plan and helping out that young rookie to chip and also help out with some of the blocking stuff.
I definitely think you have to do that, especially going against Cameron Jordan. I mean, one of the most vital defensive edge players, I think, in the league right now. And especially Tampa Bay fans know how good Cam Jordan can be and how he can take over a game. So definitely giving that extra help on the side there with Rob Gronkowski, like you were saying. It's going to be trial by fire here for Tristan Wirfs. He's going to either figure it out or he's not going to figure it out.
Yeah.
Kind of saw the same thing with Jamel Dean in Seattle last season.
Throwing him into the fire and letting him learn, but you don't want to necessarily throw him all into the fire. You want a Rob Gronkowski, and the reason why you acquire a Rob Gronkowski, not only because he can catch passes and make plays, but also his blocking prowess, which you already have seen with O.J. Howard saying he's helping out with my footwork and stuff like that. Let's go out to the guys here right now. Let's add them to the stream. There we go. Again,
5 minutes, baby. 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes to go. This is a matchup that I'm looking at. Joshua Cole, Allen, and Blake, what do you see with this matchup of Tristan Wirfs being at the right tackle? For me, this kind of isolates Donovan Smith. He really has to prove himself today, especially if you're having the help that Tristan Wirfs most likely is going to get from a Rob Gronkowski and an O.J. Howard, right?
Yeah, he's got 2 great blockers on either side of him, so that should help him tremendously. I don't think he's going to need much help, though. I've listened to everyone in camp and listened to him speak himself. It sounds like that he's really prepared. We know how athletic he is. He was great in run protection. He looks like he's worked a lot in pass pro to get better, especially with his technique and his hand placement. I think he'll do fine. I think you'll see some, help there, but I don't think as much as everyone's going to think. Blake?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Gronk will go to either side depending on what kind of play call is going on. I don't think there'll be necessarily needed help unless it's Donovan Smith. But I expect Gronk to play on a lot of sides and then running screens to the weak side of what side Gronk is on.
All right, there you go. So I tell you what, let's go out to our predictions for the season. Philip Swigler, go ahead.
For the season, I got Tom Brady tossing 35 touchdowns. I got him tossing 15 interceptions. That's going to be my season prediction for him. I think Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette, they're going to be, let's say 2,000 all-purpose yards together for the end of the season.
Record for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Record. Oh my goodness, put me on the spot here. I'm gonna go 11-5.
Okay. Joshua Cole, Allen, Blake Anthony, quickly.
Go ahead.
30 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. On the record, I got 12-4.
All right.
I got 5 hot takes. Rojo leads the team in rushing yards this year. Bucs have the most Pro Bowlers. Brady has over 40 touchdowns. Winfield Jr. wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. Bucs win the Super Bowl. Their record at the end of the season, 14-2.
All right, and Mr. Rick Hughes, what's your prediction for the Bucs record? You don't necessarily have to give me Brady unless you want to.
11-5, 12-4, something along those lines.
Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy, go ahead and get in here really quick. Thank you, Rick. Go ahead, Tampa Bay.
I am on record as saying 16-0. That's right. You heard it here first.
All right. Colin Cowherd had it right. And why should he have all the fun? He said 13-3, but the Bucs lose to the Ravens. That's not going to happen. In fact, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to go 13-3 because of the pickups of a Tom Brady, a Rob Gronkowski, and that defense is going to surprise. Guys, the Bucs are going to win the Super Bowl. It's going to be the first team in NFL history to win in their home stadium against the Baltimore Ravens. Let's go ahead. Go out to our picks for the Saints game. Phil, go.
Yeah, I got the Buccaneers winning this one 35-27.
Tampa Bay Ray.
Bucs 35-17.
Joshua Cole Allen and Blake Anthony.
27-14 Bucs.
I got 27-24 Bucks, and on behalf of Nick Citro, 27-24, Andrew Faubert, 37-27 Saints, and Anthony Beaumonde, 28-21 Bucks.
All right, Rick Hughes.
30-24 Bucs.
I like the Bucs 34-20. The story is not necessarily going to just be the offense. It's going to be the defense. You got JPP back. It's going to take the pressure off of a Shaq Barrett. Tampa Bay 34-20 over the Saints. For the great Philip Schwagler and Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy and Joshua Cole Allen and Blake Anthony and Rick Hughes from the cheap seats and the Atomic Blonde. I'm your host, Peter Blake. Enjoy the game. You're now in the Sports Web, a sports talk show for the hardcore fan. Bring your passion, bring your excitement, just don't bring any nonsense.